This is day 181 of the Arukh HaShulchan OC, and today we're doing Siman Kuf Lamed Aleph Sif Zayin to Siman Kuf Lamed Aleph Sif Yud Beis. Kuf Lamed Aleph, because of course we're still in the middle of Lachos of Tachanun. Sorry. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming share or more of the Arukh HaShulchan OC, it'd be greatly appreciated. Please contact me directly. And Zion says, because of the Ashkenaz knowing about Tos outside Yamin, in Ashkenaz, they actually went on the right side, right? Your right hand will embrace me. We don't go to the right. Shechina neged on because Shechina is the opposite person. Shmuta Yamino, Shechina Kenegdo, when he's on his right side, and the Shechina is opposite him. It's Smolo Tachas Laroshi. It's as if his left is under my hand, but Yamino Tlapkeni, and his right hand is embracing me. Akaloshono. Hingos every bunch of Jewish and Rashi and Bosov. Shorty told side min. Nixi v'chulei v'Yamino Tlapkeni. Hey, Bereshis Rabba because I've been Ramah. See if out the Ikar Latos b'Shachris Yishal Tim is smaller outside the Mim Shum Koprat Tefillin. The Ikar is on in Chakras when Tefillin on your left hand. If you're a righty, then you go on your right. You call Tefillin. Marvis Okshen Lo Tefillin. By Marvis mean by Mincha when there's no Tefillin, but small as left hand you have to outside small, which would be the other opposite if you are a which might be the opposite if you're a lefty. We actually don't know for sure. Small. Some say you should still go on the left side. But you should incline his head to the right. Small, and a mincha he should incline his head to the left. The Mishnah Brura says that's the halacha, and he says a person presenting a mincha, you should also put the nofel on his right hand. The Chai Adam says that you can rely on the gra and do it on your left. That's very confusing. All these possibilities. Armin is like the Ramah, and that is what the Achronim say that if you are a righty in the morning, you go on your right hand. In the afternoon, oh wait. Ramah says again, it tells B'Shachos Yishul Tefillin is small outside Yamin, right? Shouldn't cover that tefillin. B'Arvis so Tefillin small outside small, right? So if you're a righty, you put it on your left, so you go like this in the morning, and in the afternoon you go like this. Now I am a lefty, so being a lefty, I put my tefillin on my right hand. So in the morning I go like this, right, with my left. The question then becomes my mincha. Do I go on my left, like everybody else, or since I'm a lefty, do I go on my right? And years ago, I saw Arukh Kanievsky says, he doesn't know. There's no clear-cut answer for that. So therefore, Kanievsky has a kuntras yad ish iter, I think it's called yad iter, about halachas of lefties. So the bottom line is, I always go on the left, no matter what chakras and mincha. She put leipa beside it a beged. They should not fall on the flesh of your arm, but rather on a garment. The yad lo chashiv kisui, which is number Simon Tzadik Aleph. The hand is not considered to be a covering. I'm not sure what exactly that means. I always thought that it's because you need to have a chatzitza between yourself and the ground, and your own basar is not chatzitza between yourself and the ground. So therefore you have to have a garment, but it's not necessarily true. Evidently, but rather this is somehow your head has to be covered. I remember I was in 7th grade, and I first learned this halacha. I was in Choreb in Yerushalayim, and there was people used to use back then. It was a kartisia, a bus card, which was had several punches in it, so people kept it from time to time. It's a little piece of cardboard, and they used the kartisia to be the chatzitza between their head and the arm. Just stays in my memory. So the so I'm not sure why it has to be covered. I think we saw in the previous sif that where was that? I don't remember seeing anything. I don't remember. I guess it's not called. I'm assuming that what he means is not called Nefilas Apayim because your arm, your head has to fall on something with which you other than yourself. Because you fall on yourself, so then it's not considered to be falling down. Maybe that's what he's saying. It's not clear to me. Anyway, he says the Shatz Yetzer Rosh Tzad Teva V'Lo Tztodim. Shliach Tzibur, assuming he's standing by the table, our minhag is that Shliach Tzibur sits down when he's capable of doing so. The Shatz should incline his head towards the table and not towards the sides. K'mishoshev Keneged the Oron, so to somebody sitting opposite the Oron, Yatek Kenegdo should incline towards the Oron. The Chishapet Fei, and this is better. The Mexican Mishtach Beklape Oron Kodesh, straight ahead with Oron Kodesh, you bow down towards the Oron. And so the Podafka Mokum she spell. You don't have to do in the fields of pipe, specifically in places down Shmones, and with this spell Mokum Seh, you're down in one place, well Tachnun Mokum Acher, and say Tachnun elsewhere. Ches. Batura calls him Lomar B'Shas V'Yas Baim Ribon Kolamim V'Adonei Ha'Adonim. This is something which we don't do. Although I know that other nuschos, including Nusach Hari, have a completely different thing that they say by Tachnun. But this is what the maybe similar to this. But so the two writes to say Ribon Kolamim Adonai Adonim. The master of the worlds and master of all masters. Hakel Hagol Hagiva Banar Rachim Aleinu. Have mercy upon us. Shanachtu Avdecha Umasei Yedei Basar V'Dam. We are servants and I guess we're born of humans. Manu Machayenu. Manu Mafak Hashem Akenu. Kanachtu Avinu V'Yoshanu. What do we say? Because we've done bad things. We don't according to do our obligations. Our tefillah should be accepted before you. Like animals in the base of Mikdash. So we sacrifice them and you accepted us. That is another tefillah in the tour from Yushalmi. Again, Lamar, but our minute is the same. Bismillah Racham Mechanu Chatasi, the Gomer Adivoshu Roga. We say Tilim capital Vav. Yes, when you quote them, some say before capital Vav, which is the Ikar of Tachnun. A Yomer Tobi God Sally Maod. It's also a minute for Shmuel Beis. Bono Enonu Noagim Lomro. But Arukh HaShulchan says in Navardik, the minute was not to say it, but we do say it. And all over the called Tfutas Yisrael at this point in Nusach Ashkenaz. They say Tim Kapit Chafei V'cheinu Bazor. So I assume that's what the Nusach Hari and other Chassidim say. V'chavid Limso Nafsho. You should have in mind during the Tachnun to give your life for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's from the Zohar. But you see on the Zohar warns him low kivain. Miloi, if you didn't have in mind the words you're saying, El Beliba Rechika, your heart was distant. Garam Ale Listalka Me'ama, Alomati Yome, it causes Rachmana somebody to die early. Lachen Nimnu Omro Ba'ashkenaz. Aha, so in Ashkenaz they don't say Mizma David El Hashem Nafshi Esa, because the Zohar says that if you don't say it with right Kavana, therefore, you are in big trouble. Let's see what Nusach Hari actually says. So I have Nusach Hari, Nusach Edot HaMizrach, and in Nusach Hari, they say, yeah, with David, they say, they don't say David or God. They say, and then they say, David Elecha Hashem Nafshi Esa. So that is Tehillim Chafei, according to the Zohar. Okay, which we in Ashkenaz don't say again because of the Zohar. And in the Nusach Edot HaMizrach, it is. They started the same thing. They say start Rachum Chanun Chadam V'Nechem Alev Oshienu, and then Kapitel 25 Tilim Chafei, and That is the so obviously they are both very different than we are. Okay, I'm not sure whether the Mizrach has to do with the Zohar or not, but in any event, big difference in Tachnun. Test. Lachar should be a rosh achar tefillas pine. When you lift up your head after saying the tefillas pine, yischanim kol makom makom fi minhavo. Everybody should say a little bit of tachnunim. Each place according to its minhag. V'anachnu minhagei lomar shomri. So v'chuli ad v'oshienu v'charumim v'anachnu lo neida ma naaseh. We have whatever it says in the Zechashnas. Because v'shnach lomar v'anachnu lo neida b'yeshiva, you say v'anachnu lo neida sitting. Ma naaseh b'amida, and you get up. And ma naaseh. U'v'kol ram, and you say it out loud. By the time you know that pretty much goes out in the sipal. So the Arukh HaShulchan explains the way that he said previously. We daven all manners that we can. Be Shiva, sitting, Bamida, standing, with the feeling, falling. We did all these things. And Mana said, oh, what else can we do? All we can do is look towards you, remember your mercy. Then Shiltiva says, half a Kaddish, Amrim Ashrin Lamitzech, Yanchol, Volitzion, Bizbar, Besimu Kuflam Beis, the rest of davening. Because Ramah says on days we don't say Tachnun, we still say Lam Natzech, which is the minhag of Nusach Ashkenaz. Milvad Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, Purim, Pesach, Yom Kippur, Tisha B'Av, Ad Kan L'Shona. Besides those days, Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, Purim, Pesach, Yom Kippur, and Tisha B'Av. V'chein hu kel erech hapayim sheb'sheni v'chamishi. And kel erech hapayim also we would say every day we say Lam Natzech, not on these days. Aminah Sfardim Lam Natzech Shav L'Tachnun. So I know the minhag of the Zachari that Lam Natzech is like Tachnun. B'Yom she'en Ri Tachnun, en Ri Gam Lam Natzech. They are linked to each other. Yud Kasav Rabbeinu Haramah B'si Beis. Yeshin Neif L'Zapayim Makom Sheish Oram Sevitar B'Socho. There is a minhag that which is prevalent in all of the Golos, that you don't say unless there's an Aron and Sefer Torah within it. Okay, the Mishmur writes that Aron is lav dafka, but Sefer Torah by itself is also sufficient. If there's no Sefer Torah but Sfarim, some say the Sfarim work and some say the Sfarim don't work. But be as it may, the Hashem says, "I belav achem tchina below kisi panim." You say the tchina without covering one's head. In other words, getting back to what we learned earlier, evidently when the filas of pine means covering one's head and not just bowing down. So in any event, we don't do the filas of pine at all if there's no Sefer Torah. Being a court area of the shul, which is home to the shul of Shosh Atzim Espalim, the time the tzibur is davening, even if this is all from the Ramah, even an individual in his house, Omer Tchinam and Filas as a feel Yachid Bebei. So if it's a time that tzibur is davening, even with Yachid in his house, Omer Tchinam and Filas Apayim, he says Tachnun with the falling. Akal Shalom. Adin Zemer Merokech. This halacha is from Rokech because of Simon Davar by Yoshua Milchemes Ai. But it says Simon is that Yoshua, where you have to supplicate HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by Paul Aponov Ifnei Aron Hashem. So before the Aron. I am, but these brackets here, as I am, Sif Kaneshik Sham, but me Pelegesh Begiba. See, by Kulif Nei Hashem, Ayin Sham. So it doesn't say the Aron, but Arukh HaShulchan says it's Miyani. The Sham Ksiv Aron. It does say Aron there. Tzarachin. Back to the text. Rabbeinu says, "Go to cost of the Kabbalah and the Kabbalah." This is the Messiah. Fine, the Din issue. But if we're saying this from logic, there's a refutation. Nearly common also. I think it means, says Arukh HaShulchan, the Ikar is Napolus Lamad Moshe Rabbeinu. Primary falling. We learned from Moshe Rabbeinu. See, but Esnapal. I fell there. Sham Lo Aron. There was no Aron there. Being Mishum Shabbat Sinai Yikar Ashras HaKushai. Maybe you'll say, okay, but it's Har Sinai. So when the Kedusha is being bestowed, B'chol Makom Shadam Mispala Be'Yam Makom Kadosh. Any place a person davened is holy. Shespel Shechina connected with davened Shechina is opposite him. Fuka Omer Lifnei HaMelech. Asher is Nisbarka HaMpamid. As he's standing before the king, as we explained several times. Both the Rosh Megillah Sham Pasek, the Yachid Bebeso, Mutzali Popanava HaKarka. The Rosh says an individual at home can't fall on the ground. Well, he's basically stumble like a Sefer Torah. In his house, we assume there's no Sefer Torah. Mikom Makom, nevertheless, Aminak Aposh, the whites are niggas Korokech, Ukipsakra Ben Ramah, the Chatzar basically has the base of Knesses. When in the Chatzar, this is relevant now during the time this year is being given, which is the time of COVID, when people daven outside and they open the door to the inside the shul. not everywhere. The place where I daven is daven occasionally. That's where what they do. And when the door is open, they can also do the Tfilas Apayim, even if they're outside in the courtyard. Mishapur though says said it's the only way you can see from the place, your place where you're standing, the place of the Aron. Arukh HaShulchan seems not to require that. And in theory, you can be in the shul behind a pillar where your place can't see the Aron either. So I guess that's why he doesn't make a thing about that. He says, but of course, lo b'shasha pesach no, if the door is closed, then you can't be nofel apayim. Whereas the snashim noflim, as the snashim you can't do nefil apayim. The small rooms in and around the Batei Knesses and Batei Medrash, Tinoka Beis HaKnesses, they're like the shul u Beis Medrash and like a Beis Medrash for this purpose. Sharatzion says that if there's in the Ezra Azar the Beis HaKnesses, a small room by itself, even when it's open to the Azara, which is like an antechamber, and the opening to the Aron is open, you're not nofel apayim there because it's a cheder in of itself, a room in of itself. So a room off the main shul, I guess, would count, but a room off the main shul doesn't count. Back to the Arukh HaShulchan. The lo b'shosha pesel no it's not when the I'm sorry. Now we said an even individual, if he's at home, you can be nofel upon him as a shosh at tzibur shem spalim. The time the tzibur is davening, yesh pish gezel dafka shosh at tzibur omnim tachlum. Wow. So I'm saying you dafka have to do it at the time when the tzibur is saying tachlum. In fact, the Mishnah holds that way. You can only, it's not enough that you know they're davening shul generically. It's got to be corresponding to the time they're saying tachlum. Yesh pish ragus manat tefillah shel tzibur yachol lipol. So I'm saying on the contrary. When the tefillah, and when they're saying tefillah b'tzibur, that means Shmona Esrei, you can do tefillah b'ayim. Kosh gives man b'miniam b'beiso b'shas zman tefillah b'tzibur noflu sham gam below Sefer Torah. And even he says when they daven with a minute in a house at the time that tzibur is davening, you do the tefillah b'ayim even if there's no Sefer Torah. L'chein nira ikar b'kavanas Rabbeinu Ramah imki ein haminokei. Even though Arukh HaShulchan says that should be the halacha. That's not the minute. The minute is we don't do the Tfilas Apayim in Chutz La'aretz anywhere where there's no Sefer Torah present. So that's also true, but except for Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is of course doing the Tfilas Apayim because of the Makom HaChurban, even in the absence of a Sefer Torah. Yurav, any Tfilas Apayim b'layla. The Chaim Barb is like the Tfilas Apayim. The only Tfilas Apayim by Amarav. Shedim Mekubel Chachamim. Because the Chachamim have a Messiah and a Tfilas Apayim Remes Amidas Layla. The Tfilas Apayim is hints at the meat of Laila, which is din. And it's you don't fall on your face at a time of din because it's din and din. The Korban of the Kat is Benetios, and it seems that this is close to something which is heretical, and mainly because you deny the din, or you're not worried about the din. But in slichas, in the morning. Even though it's not yet daybreak, but since it's close to daybreak, it's good enough. And in general, after chatzos man rachamim. We know after chatzos is ready. Chatzos man rachamim is the time of rachamim after the time when after chatzos the time of rachamim, and therefore you can do tachanun even after chatzos. But at the beginning of the night, the dinim are strong. There are different people have different minhag about them. Some people they won't say tachanun if mincha goes after shkia, and others will say tachanun even if mincha goes after shkia, and that's Arukh HaShulchan seems all that way. As long as it's not definitely nighttime, you can actually say the tachanun even though it's bein hashmashos. Yud beis chas of a Rambam so parakei. Minhag pasha b'chol yisrael she'en noflim b'nei b'Shabbos v'yontif. Don't do this fine on Shabbos, Yontif, Rosh Hashanah, v'Rosh Chodesh, v'Chanukah Purim, v'lo b'mincha shel arba Shabbosos v'yom tovim, v'lo b'arba sheb'chol yom. All these times don't say tachanun. Yesh chidush shenoflim b'arbas b'chol. Some people the Ari Yechidim would do it by Ma'ariv. We don't. Yom Kippurim noflim b'nei b'chol tefillah. Yom Kippur we do the tachanun in every tefillah. Minei sheyom ba'atchina u'ba'kosha v'tainis. It's the day of supplication. Hakal Shoro. V'anachnu lo yadanu v'lo shemanu minig zeh l'mar ta'achnu Yom Kippurim. By us, such a minig does not exist. V'gam Yechidim Shiplu Ba'arbis, we also never heard of such a thing. Kwasar Rabbi saying about Yishalom Sivav, no Gush Lo Lipa P'neihem, B'tu B'av, Lo B'tu B'Shvat. Also those days. Lo B'Rosh Chodesh. Lo Mincha Shafam, not Mincha before Rosh Chodesh. Lo B'Chanukah. Yeshu Gam B'Mincha Shifnei Avana, but some say also the Mincha before all these days. V'chein Noagim, that's our custom. Purim ain't Oflim Up P'neihem. Don't do Tefillas B'Yom and Purim. Lag B'Omer ain't Oflim. Also Lag B'Omer. Chein Yom Kippurim. Chein B'Erev Rosh Hashanah. I feel Shachris, even Erev Rosh Hashanah by Shachris, even though you say by Slichas Tachanun, but Shachris not. Don't do the Tefillas B'Yom the whole month. Nisan below the Tisha B'Av, low Ben Yom Kippurim the Sukkos, not between Yom Kippur and Sukkos. He's going according to the strict minhag Ashkenaz that after Sukkos until Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan you do say Tachanun, which many people have minhag nowadays. Not like that. When Tchilas Rosh Chodesh Sivan Arukh HaShulchan, that's not from the beginning of Rosh Chodesh Sivan until after Shavuos. Actually, this is not this. It's not Ashkenaz, because it's the Rambam speaking. But in fact, in the Ashkenaz, you find the more Litvish do say Tachanun immediately after Sukkot. Okay, now the Arukh HaShulchan speaking. Basically, don't do Tefillas B'Yom after Shavuos 7 days. Because it's Chagigah can be here for all 7 days, and that's again matter of minhagim. Pesach Sheni lo chashvu. Didn't mention Pesach Sheni bu pella, which is astonishing. Minhag Sfarim sheli bobo, and Sfarim don't do Tefillas B'Yom on Pesach Sheni. I believe that is the minhag today as well. Yesh sheli po min achar sukkos arachar Rosh Chodesh Mar Cheshvan. Oh, this is the minhag of some place in Ashkenaz. Even after Sukkot till after Rosh Chodesh Mar Cheshvan, you don't say Tachanun mipnei sherovim yachodesh haya belon Tefillas B'Yom, because most of the days of the month without Tefillas B'Yom ve'eno ikar. Shulchan says that the classic minhag Ashkenaz is to say Tachanun immediately after Sukkot to Rosh Chodesh. V'day shno Lag Ba'omer yesh li zor ma'od. Wow, that sounds Kabbalistic. Lag Ba'omer should be very careful not to say Tachanun. Ma'asav Gor Echad she'arog kol yom lomar nachem b'tefillah. There was a person who said nachem every day during davening, not just Tisha B'Av. For Gam Lag Ba'omer, he said also Lag Ba'omer b'ne'enash. He was punished. Evidently Lag Ba'omer, you should be careful not to make light of the day because of its a chashuv day, and people need to regard it as significant. V'dayin yishno the b'divrei Rabbi say by Shulchan before the mincha l'shnifnei tu b'av tu b'shvat Lag Ba'omer or Purim noflim, or in all those days that are chashuv to not say Tachanun in the mincha before. Shari custom before Shvach or Rosh Chanukah. Let me say by Rosh Chanukah, I guess, which are days which have halal. I mean, again, we don't say in mincha before all the days. We don't say Tachanun, including, as Mishnah Berurah notes here, the day before Erev Tisha B'Av as well.